are live here on Mari's Flex Pilates, and unfortunately, Mari couldn't be with us today. But I'm Jessie Lezak, excited to step in for her and interview her amazing guest here, Alexandra Dyer. Alexandra,
Thank
could you kick us
you.
off by just telling us all about the amazing you, what you're doing, all of your entrepreneurial stuff? Like, we want to know your full life story and what brought you to this moment.
Wow, that's a lot. Okay, my full life story. Hi, I'm originally from Ocala, Florida. I've been living in Ohio for about 8 years. I moved here because I was a professional dancer and I still wanted to dance. So I left Florida to come up here, and I was dancing in a company in Dayton, Ohio. And then I moved to Columbus and started dancing here. And then that's when I started my Pilates journey. The company that I was in, she was a Pilates teacher, and part of our contract in the ballet company was to do Pilates. And honestly, in the beginning, I was not a big fan of Pilates, if I'm going to be completely honest. I had a lot of different injuries in my body, and correcting the injuries and helping them, it gets harder before it gets easier. And I'm very grateful that it was part of my contract to stay with it. I didn't have a choice. And now I feel 10 times better in my body. So that is my personal journey of starting Pilates. But I hear it's just like when people would go to physical therapy and they say, oh, this is really hard and I didn't go back. And it's like you kind of have to get through the other side and it's so much worth it. So that's how I started Pilates. And then after I left the company, I started the training program with that person. And after about 3 years of doing the training program, we still didn't finish. And I had to leave the studio at the time. I had a daughter, and I was just like, maybe Pilates is not for me. It's taking a long time to do this. And my friend that lives in New York was like, no, you have to. Please finish it. Don't give up. Like, this is a really great career to be in. So she really gave me the push to stay with it. So I found a different program in here in Columbus again. And I restarted from day one the program all over again, which was honestly the best thing that I could have done. I said, I'm not going to get stuck in another program. So I really came up with a plan on how I can finish this in a timely manner. So I finished her program in 10 months. I did it working full time, did it having a toddler. I did Pilates before work. I did Pilates on my lunch break. I did Pilates after work. I did Pilates on the weekends. I talked about Pilates nonstop to everyone. I'm sure my family was very tired of hearing about Pilates, but I said, we need to get this done. So after I did that, that's when I transitioned into teaching full time. And then I received my bar certification and trampoline certification as well. For me personally, I have to make working out my job to work out. But I'm very happy and grateful that it is my job. So it's a great way to stay in shape. But I've been teaching. Having a toddler was kind of hard because it's like, okay, I can teach before she goes to school, and then she's in school for 3 hours, and I can find a job that I can teach while she's in school. And in the afternoon, where can I work that I have her with me? Who can let her come? Who will not let her come? Who has childcare? Who doesn't have childcare? So it became a huge juggling act. Which was fun. But now that she's in kindergarten, I said, okay, we can kind of like mellow out. I mean, at one point, I was working at 5 different locations, 4 different businesses. It was a lot. And then toward the end of last year, I had a big life change where now I'm in a co parenting situation. And after getting through that transition, I was just like, it's time to like start my own business. And I just kind of needed ownership of something that was mine. And, you just put a lot into building other people's businesses, and that's fine. But at some point, it's like, what's next? And I necessarily didn't want to open up a business after getting my business degree, but it kind of leads to that, when you're good at what you do and you love what you do, it's just like you kind of want to run it the way you want to run it. So I had a vision board party. I've never made a vision board before, but on December 31st, I made a vision board and I had a clear words of what I wanted to do with the year of 2026. And literally 3 days later, I talked about my vision to somebody at a housewarming party, and she was like, let's make your vision come to life. So that's when I started A.N.D. Pilates, which is the initials of my name, Alexandra Nicole Dyer Pilates. And I just wanted to start with pop up events. So my first event was called Pedos and Pilates, where I did a pop up mat class, and then there was a florist there to teach a flower bouquet class, and there was goodie bags and food and drinks. And I didn't want the class to just be you come and take a class and leave. I want it to be like an event where you build community and you like get to know people, and it's just like it's a fun time, you know? And after that, we had another event called Paint and Pilates. So after the mat Pilates class, we had flower pots that we painted. I gave out plants, and again, there was goodie bags, and I was able to get some raffles. So I was able to raffle off a massage and raffle off a facial. So it's definitely been a lot of work of starting your own business, still with teaching at my regular schedule of now 4 places that I'm teaching at. So it's been a lot, but it's been fun. And then I was approached from Mari, which is super exciting, when she's like, I have this space, and what about you teaching weekly classes underneath your own name? So I'm like, let's do it. So, yes, I've started teaching weekly, or will be starting teaching weekly classes in about 2 weeks. And it'll just be mat Pilates and stretch classes, but it will be underneath my own name, which is very exciting. So, yes, that
Ah,
is all of what I have going on, all of who I am, and yes.
I
Sorry, that was
love
long
that.
winded, but
No, and I was going to ask you already answered my question, which was like were you and Mari? Well, I guess maybe you didn't. Like, how do you even know Mari? Like, how did this relationship start to get to this point?
so she wrote me on Instagram and she said, I heard that you were a Pilates teacher and let's connect. Are you open to connecting? And when I first got the message, I was like, I don't have time for another job. But I'm never one to not have a conversation. You never know where the conversation will lead. So I said, yeah, let's talk. Like, I knew I wasn't interested in working for another business. I had to turn down 3 studios last year because I'm only one person, and it's a lot. But this opportunity is, she's like, well, you would be teaching for yourself. So it's a way to work smarter, not harder,
I love
which is
that.
always the goal.
Yes, amazing. Well, let's get into these topics. So, stepping into your purpose through life transitions. Talk to us about this a little bit.
I mean, after I transitioned toward the end of last year into my own space, and again, this co-parenting relationship now, it's like opportunities were presented to me, and I feel like these opportunities came to me because now I was in a headspace where I was able to accept them. So I'm a believer that when if it's for you, it's for you, and when it's for you, it's for you. So I had somebody approach me, Mr. Wendo. He just started a fitness app called Iron Pulse, and he said, "Hey, I have this fitness app, and I need instructors for it. Can you teach Pilates on my app?" And I was just like, is a scam. And then when I realized that it wasn't, he was legit. I was like, absolutely, that sounds amazing. And he said, I was on Facebook and searching for teachers twice, and it took the third time for me to find you. And I was like, that's because I wasn't ready to be found. So now, like, mentally, I'm ready to be found. And that's why it happened the way it did, which is really exciting. And then after that, just sitting at this housewarming party talking about my vision. And then Sherry, she's with Maroon Arts Group, which they have a beautiful building over on Mount Vernon. She's the one that was like, I have a space and you want to start doing your pop ups. I will sponsor you for this space. So that was another amazing connection to have. So, yes, I feel like things are coming when it is time for them to come.
I love that. Yeah, they really do. It's just like things open up at a certain time. I believe that everything happens for a reason, but I'm a little woo-woo. Um,
I know. I believe it. I believe it too,
yes,
because I was like, where were these opportunities before, you know? It wasn't the time,
it
but now
wasn't
it
the
is.
time. Yeah. So let's get a little bit into movement. And I love this movement as a path to confidence and personal power. Personally, I was like that stressed out, you know, chief marketing officer who had kids and was like, I don't know, but on Saturdays I hit the yoga mat. And I didn't know why, but when I hit that yoga mat, I would be in tears. I was like, all of my week, the stress from work, the stress from motherhood, stress from COVID, I would just weep. And at the time, I had no idea. But as I slowly started to learn that, like, your emotions and everything is connected with movement, and you really bring it up
Yes.
with that. So I love this topic.
Yes.
Can you tell us about it?
Yes, I mean, I honestly, I have clients that are sessions. I have this client, your body holds on to stress. Your body holds on to what you're going through mentally. It holds on to things that you don't even think you're holding on to, but your body feels it. So, like when you're moving, I have a client, she can barely stretch her arm out because her body is like, no, I need to like protect you. So moving definitely helps recognize what's going on, and then a lot of the times it's like, okay, have you thought about talking to someone as well, because your body has a way of telling you you need to shut some things off mentally. And movement is medicine. Movement is medicine. If you stop moving, it's not good physically, it's not good mentally. So I'm a true believer, and move. Just, it doesn't matter if you're walking, it doesn't matter if whatever you need to do, but just sitting, especially with the people that have sit down jobs, the people that are standing on their feet all day, their hips are getting just tight, their hamstrings are tight. Whatever sparks joy for you, it doesn't matter what it is. I love Pilates. I think that Pilates is the way for everyone, but it doesn't have to be if that's not your jam. But again, I believe it's everyone's jam. But I am biased. So, yes, once you feel good in your body, then you feel good to step out in the world and go after your goals. But if you're feeling pain, if you're feeling tight, it's hard to go on a stage or do whatever you need to do to say, yes, here I am. But like, oh, this is hurting, this is hurting, this is hurting. It makes it harder. And for me,
Yes.
Pilates is like physical therapy for your entire body. So, everyone has had an injury where we go to physical therapy and we work on one part of the body. Pilates, you're working on your whole body. It's not just the one part, but it's doing things in a safe way, doing things for anyone. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your injury. There is a safe way to move in that Pilates studio. Yes.
Mm, yeah, definitely. I love that so much. And like I feel like most people think of movement and exercises like I need to go get skinny. I need to go like, but like, it's like yes, you do start to look better, but there is confidence in
But
just feeling better, and then like the emotions and
yes.
even like the mental stability.
I
Yeah.
want to be able to reach in my back seat of my car without pulling the muscle in my back. I used to pull a muscle in my
Amen.
back from getting my book bag up. You know what I mean? I need to be this.
Oh,
My client said I can get off the toilet without holding on anymore. She started Pilates in her 70s. And
oh
I'm like, that's
wow.
that's what Pilates is about. It's
Amazing.
how to function and survive in your body. It's like putting gas in a car and getting an oil change. You need to keep the maintenance, and Pilates is a great way to do that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. Okay, I'm gonna transition us into this last topic, which is really I feel like the meat and potatoes of what this show is all about. It's the community
Yes.
wellness movement. So the power of community in health and wellness. Like, what comes to mind for you with that?
Power of community. I feel like, to me, working out, anyone can work out anywhere. But when you're working out in a space, when my clients come in, I said, hey, have you met so and so that's sitting next to you? And they're like, oh my gosh, used to be my neighbor. Or, oh my gosh, blah, blah, blah. And which is why I started the pop up events as well. It's not just coming to work out, but it's coming to feel like you belong in a sense. You know what I mean? We're all here to feel great. We all like to do hard things because Pilates is not easy. You know what I mean? We all care about our body. So we're moving together, we're burning together, we're feeling together. They're having to deal with me running all over the studio like a crazy person. And like, this girl's crazy. But I want to make it exciting for you because people have they can go anywhere and take a class with anyone. Literally, the world is teaching, but they chose to come with me. So I'm going to make it a great experience every single class because that's my responsibility to my class. You know what I mean? Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
How do you
yeah.
like? What do you do to give that extra experience? Like, what is that extra touch you give?
I mean, my clients will tell you I am someone that I feel like, I don't know, I like to sing. I like to
Nice.
dance. I like to get down with you and be like, "Do you feel it? Do you really feel it? This right here, this teeny little muscle right here." And I get down with you, and they're just like, "Okay, get away from me." But like, I just need you to feel away from my hand. Just lift up a little higher. I am very energetic. I am very just. Sometimes I think I'm a comedian, and it's just like, I just, yes, it's serious. We talk about the breath, we talk about the muscles, but also like at the end of the day, it's just Pilates. We're here to not take ourselves too seriously and have fun while you're doing the work. And it's my classes are hard. All of my clients would tell you that I'm one of the hardest teachers, but we will have a good time. And I only give what I know you're capable of, and most of them don't think they're capable. And it's my job to bring that out of them. So you can't bring that out talking boring. You can't bring it out talking monotone. You got to empower people through the movement. You know what I mean? I'm showing you, I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing it with you on the floor to say, hey, we are all in this together. I know you can't, you may not know, but I know. And then what happens? They do it. And then I say, what? You see, you did it. I know you could. So,
Yeah.
and then I get so excited and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I thank them because I'm like, thank you for allowing me to watch the gift of you excelling and getting stronger. Like, it's really fulfilling. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. I bet. You're
Yeah.
like actually really helping people. Like
You
that's
see
what
them get
business is all about.
stronger. Yes, and
Yeah.
honestly, it doesn't. I don't want to be the cliche person and say it doesn't feel like work, but it doesn't feel like work. Like, not when you are helping people and watching them get stronger and growing and building confidence. Like, it's fulfilling. It's the best job I've ever had.
Yeah. And building community. I mean, especially at
Yes.
Flex Pilates, I feel like, because I personally love going down to Flex Pilates. A, because you got Cure right next door. You got that coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
bar right
Mm-hmm.
next door. I'm not a drinker, but I can always go have a
You can
cup of
get
decaf
coffee.
coffee. I
Yep.
love my decaf. Yes. And there's just people around. And then, like, Mari sort of cultivates a whole community there in the, like,
Mm-hmm.
Flex Pilates studio. Every time I go there, there's just people to meet, things to do. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like anything you would add in specifically about like your experience. And I don't know, have you taught at Flex Pilates yet, or you guys are about to?
So yeah, I'm starting my classes in 2 weeks. I wanted to
Nice.
start this Monday, but the I needed to make sure that my online, so you can be able to book on your own, that is up and running with there's no issues before I start. I don't like to jump ahead too quickly and start before things are in place because when I go somewhere, I have high expectations. So I want to make sure that I'm holding up to my expectation of what I would have for someone else. So we're going to start in 2 weeks. So I'm excited, but this Saturday we do have a meet and greet, and I will be teaching a class, and there'll be a lady there teaching a sound bath class as well. Saturday from 6:30
Oh,
to
I'm that lady.
8:30.
I'm the sound bath
Oh,
lady.
yeah, yes, yes, Jesse, you are
Yes,
the
yes,
sound
I
bath
will
lady.
be there.
So
Can't wait.
yes, we will be there, and people can come and take class with us and meet
Woohoo.
us and have a nice social. And yes, it's going to be great.
Awesome. I love that. I'm so excited. I didn't realize that you were
Yay.
going to be the one there teaching the class when I'm there doing the
I
sound
didn't know
bath.
you were going to be the one. See, look at this
Ah!
community building. Yes.
Exactly. Mari is really building something. I
Yes,
love
for
this.
sure.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Well, this has been such an awesome conversation. I know we had some hiccups with like our pre-show and unfortunately with Mari not being able to join, but we'll reschedule this
That's
because you
okay.
two definitely have to have this conversation.
Yes.
But in closing, could you let listeners know like where can they find you? Do you have a website? What's your social media handles? Also, like, yes, you're teaching at
Yes.
Flex Pilates, but where else can they take a class from you?
Yes. So my personal Instagram is Alexandra underscore Nicole 125. And then I now have a business Instagram, which I am trying to build up. So please follow my business page. It is A.N.D Pilates. And I will have a website up and running in about 2 weeks once I have my online program, but that's all going to be posted on both of my socials. I'm also on Facebook. If you just type in Alexandra Dyer, you'll find me there as well. And then I currently teach at Studio 86 Fitness. There's a location in Clintonville and in Westerville. I teach reformer classes, tower classes. I do privates because I'm comprehensively certified. So I teach on the chair, on the Cadillac, on the barrel, any Pilates equipment, I teach it. And I also teach at the Athletic Club, which is downtown. I teach Pilates and bar there as well. And then I teach at a studio in New Albany called Shift Motion. I have a 12 p.m. jump board class on Thursdays, and then I teach her Fridays, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. No, and 12 a.m. And then I do privates at all the places. I even go to clients' houses and do privates at their house. So if you're like, I have a machine and I need someone to come to me, I don't really want to go out, I travel. I am all over the city. And yes, and then I have my studio, my business, A.N.D Pilates. I am planning my April event. I'm trying to do a pop-up once a month. So the April news will be coming out very soon. So please follow my socials. The first event sold out very, very quickly. So you don't want to definitely drag your feet on those. Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely not. I had no idea. Well, I had no idea you could have one of those Pilates machines at your house. I didn't know you could
Some
have
of the
someone come to your
reformers, they
house.
fold.
Oh,
Yeah, they fold up and you can just wheel it in a corner, wheel it out, lay it down. Some people have, I just did a session today on a Pilates chair, which is like a padded one that's like small, but you can do a full workout. So I came to her house because she's like, I have the chair, but I'm not really sure like what I should be doing on it. And I was just there to kind of give guidance and fine tune the little details that she couldn't do for herself. Yeah, and it was a lot of fun.
that's
So,
so cool. Well, Columbus, I bet you all didn't even know we had this service, but now you know,
you know,
hopefully.
yes,
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad we got to meet tonight, Alexandra. Thank you so
I
much for
am
your
too.
time and your
Thank you,
patience. And
Jesse.
I
Yes,
look
of
forward to seeing
course.
you on Saturday with my
Yay.
sound bowls.
Yes, Saturday
Yes.
for
Yeah.
sure. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close this out with a video. We'll see everybody else
All
later.
right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.